Hey friends, welcome back to the Dave Yourself channel. My name is Dave. This is my channel. This is episode 8 of building this Balsa model kit, which is the Dumas Staggerwing Balsa model kit, rubber band flying model kit at that point. Kit number 332. And as you can see here in front of me, I am getting very, very near to being done-ish. I think I probably can get this entire series done in 10 episodes. So we'll see. I have not glued on the top wing yet, but I have glued these parts together, except for the nose cowl, of course. But I have glued the tail on and went ahead and glued the bottom wing on. Now today we're going to work on the strut, or struts, I should say. Get this into a spot where it's safe. There we go. So today we're going to be working on the struts that go between the two wings. Now, since this is a Staggerwing, this is the plane where the bottom wing of the biplane actually jets out further than the top wing does, unlike a normal biplane. So the struts will need to be constructed. There are two struts, one for each side. However, they are laminated, so there's going to be 4 sets of these pieces that you see here, which are basically the 5 pieces that can actually make up a single portion of the strut. So I'm going to have to do 4 of these. So I've got the parts here that I'll need to get cut out, and I've got these other here already out, ready to go. So we're going to get those glued in. So if you want to see this come together, and I think we'll probably get that top wing on today after I get these struts together. So if you want to see all that come together, you know what I recommend you do? You stick around. All right, friends, welcome back. Well, as usual, I'm going to go ahead and speed this up and get all this stuff cut out, get them glued together, get them laminated, and then get them ready to get installed. So here we go. All right, friends. So I went ahead and got the first strut made, and to spare you from having to sit through watching me cut out and do the next strut laminated like that, I'm gonna just go ahead and make it appear here in a second. Plus, I got a little bit of damage. This wax paper, it's starting to take a beating, so I'll probably have to lay some more down here if I brought it. I'll have to look for that. But nonetheless, instead of making us into this, like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and make another one appear right now. All right, friends, there we go. There's the second one. So yeah, so basically the same process. Just had to go ahead and cut those pieces out and go ahead and laminate those two together, and we have got 2 struts here now, ready to roll. So looking at the direcciones, I think that's the last thing on this page. Yep. And now we flip up the page, and let's see, now it's getting into covering the frame and then assembling the model. It says the entire frame must be covered with tissue before the model is assembled. Well, I think this particular plane may not get tissued. Actually, may just do some staining on it to keep it in this form that it's in. I don't know that I'm going to actually tissue it because it's going to be a gift, and I think it'll look a lot. They're not going to fly it anyway. It's just going to be a shelf queen. But I think that being the case, I think it'll be a really, when I stain it, a light stain, I think it'll be a really neat looking model. So we're going to skip straight to assembling the model. So basically, as you see before, I have these portions done, and now all we need to do is get these struts in place, and these struts in place will kind of come in place where these little tabs are on the top and the bottom. So let's take a look and see how something like that will work. Okay. Let's see how that's there like that. That drops in like that. All right, so let's put in the top ones first. I guess that these will need to go forward. Hmm. Well, I have that rib in place there, which is going to cause an issue. All right, so let me make sure this rib is glued in place, and I'm gonna cut out the center of it. This is one of those things I probably did wrong. Um, so let's do what we can to work around that. So I'm just gonna glue the sides of the rib in place, and I'm gonna take some scissors, cut out the center where this needs to go. There we go. And try to keep as much off my fingers as possible. Boom. All right. Now if we come into something like that, let's see. That'll get there. And this will be, oops, turned around. That's it. All right, that's it, I believe. Okay. So if that's the case, get that inside there. Looks like that piece that the notch that they have isn't wide enough for this laminated wood. That's interesting. The notch that they have pre-cut in the wood is not wide enough for the laminated notch to go in. Whoops. Hmm. Hmm. Well, that is peculiar. All right. Hmm. That piece is already cracked out there, so let me go ahead and break this. Hate to have to do that, but that'll at least get me into the notch there. Let's see if I can work that in. There we go. There we go. Try to wiggle it in. All right. Okay, so that being the case, I'm not worried about having to break that piece out because these are all individually glued. But let's go ahead and glue this front part down. And then we will make sure that's nice and straight. And then we will just re-glue in the back piece again. No problem. This entire thing is glued together. So, like such. Now we can work this piece back in. Now that there we go. Okay. So that will fit there. Go ahead and apply our glue here. They put on the tab there. Come on now. There it is. Make sure it's straight. And then we can glue this back down. that a second to set up. But there we go. So there's the one spar in so far. And with that dihedral, it seems to be coming down pretty straight, which is good. So we'll look at doing the other side as well. And probably going to have to go through that same process again. So I got a feeling that slot's not going to be any bigger. But I don't know. We'll make it happen. But I'm going to do it in fast motion so that you don't have to sit through and watch the frustration. So here we go. All right, friends. Well, the second one actually did fit into that hole a little bit. When I was cutting out the support rib that I had in there in between there, I used these scissors to kind of widen the hole a little bit and was able to actually, with a little force, push it into that hole without having to go through the whole breaking of the former piece and gluing it back in. So basically shoved it in there, got it glued down, got both of those struts in there now, and they both seem to be hanging about straight down with that dihedral on there. So the next step will be to get them installed on the plane itself. And here's kind of what that's going to look like. Give you that idea what that Staggerwing is going to look like here. Oop, there we go. So that's kind of how that whole wing design is. Pretty sweet, huh? Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, so that, anyway, so that's what we'll do. We're going to let this dry a little bit here before we get into that. And then we're going to get into the next step, which will be going ahead and probably getting that installed. I would imagine, just because it's Dave It Yourself, and I already see where there's some things I probably should have done differently. I would imagine that putting in this into the bottom wing is going to also going to require some retrofitting. We'll see. But nonetheless, we're going to do that here in just a bit. All right, friends, thanks for coming on back. So I went ahead and took a look at the bottom wing and the strut setting and all of that kind of thing. And there are some brackets that are in there. The way I had them installed was at the bottom of the wing. The way that these struts seem to sit is actually on the top of the bottom wing, not all the way into the wing where these were mounted. So looking at that, the finagling that I'm going to do, since this is not going to be an active flying model, it's just going to be a shelf, something cool to look at on the shelf kind of thing. What I did do is the finagle was these fit just great over the R9 formers here. So what I did is I just went ahead and cut off the little tab here. And then when I glue it down, I'm just going to glue it straight on down to the former there because that's the right curve that's already set. And then that'll be the perfect setting for that as well. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do right now. But I'm going to speed it up for you so you don't have to watch it at regular speed. Here we go. All right, friends, there you go. So here's the kit itself in its mostly glued together form. Still letting everything dry together now at this point. But those stabilizers and all, and the struts on the wings seems to get on there real good. Cut off that little tab, and they just seem to fit right on there just perfectly with that wing look. And then here you can kind of see how it looks in the front. It's got that dihedral it needs, although it probably won't be flying, but still this thing is a pretty nice looking plane. So yeah, yep. I guess we got a little bit of crookedness back here, but yeah, that's my first, it's my first plane. So anyway, so I appreciate you guys sticking around watching this particular video as well. I'm trying to keep these a little bit shorter, especially now that we're coming down toward the end. So if you guys did like this type of content, and according to the poll I put out there, build Balsa kit is still leading the pack as far as like the other things that I had in my poll. But so hopefully you guys are liking this. If so, please give it a thumbs up and a like, and please give me some positive comments. Let me know what you think. Maybe what you'd like to see next. Still got some other projects coming up, like the launching the jet off the car, things like that. So, but we're not done with this kit. But we got a lot of stuff coming up. So please make sure that you like and subscribe. And until next time, I am Dave. This is the Dumas Balsa Wing Balsa Wing, the Balsa model Staggerwing kit number 332. And